Welcome to Chapter 6. Just to quickly recap, we've talked about right hand and left hand and coordination of ear. We've talked about scales. We've talked about the notes on the bass. And as you can see, I've got my trusty old 100-year Czech bass belonging to Owen. I love playing this thing, and I've got it back, and we're going to use it now to play, actually start to learn how you play along with somebody in a bluegrass band. So far I've only shown you just notes, individual notes, and we really haven't talked a whole lot about how to play the bass along with another band. Now, doesn't mean that you should jump right to this chapter instantly anytime you're going to listen to the video again. I still stress to you, make sure you go back to those other chapters and learn your scales, learn the notes on the neck, because it's all going to help you. Learn good right hand technique and good left hand technique. Coordinate your ear with that. All those chapters will help you. But let's talk about playing with another band. Now, what notes do you hit when you're playing? What do you do here? Well, let's say we're playing in G, and this is the reason why I showed you the G scale and the A scale. Let's say that the guy calls out a tune and it's in G, and he says go to the 4 chord and the 5 chord. Well, do we remember back in the last chapter what the 4 chord was when we're playing G? It's G and C. There it is right there. And the 5 chord is a D. And that's a D. Now, when you're playing with somebody and the guitar is strumming in a G, well, what strings do you hit here? Well, let's just talk a second again about music theory. When you play a major triad on the guitar, there's 3 notes that are associated with that major triad. The 1, the 3, and the 5. Now, when we go back to the G scale, again, you can find the 1, the 3, and the 5 in there. Well, on a bass, when you play the 1 and the 5 note. Always the 1 and the 5 note. You know, back when we talked about the scales and you're playing along with somebody, if they say we're playing in G, you wouldn't just hit the G. That doesn't sound that good. I mean, you could hit it, but it's not really an acceptable practice. You're going to hit the 1 and the 5. Now, that's the reason why there's no minor chords on a bass. When somebody says play an A minor, all you do is play an A, because you're only playing the 1 and the 5 in that scale. The 3 in the scale, which is what the guitar plays and other instruments, is the minor part. You flat the 3rd, and we won't get into that too much, but suffice to say, you play the 1 and the 5 on the bass. Well, where's the 1 and the 5? Do you remember where in G the 5 is? Well, it's a D, if you'll recall, and you can use the illustration I included with the video, or go back to the scale chapter that I just completed, and you can find the 5. So this is, again, the reason why you're going to want to know those scales and know the 1 and the 4 and the 5. So, when somebody's in G, and you listen to the guitar, the bass notes when you play rhythm on the guitar is playing 1 and 5, 1 and 5, 1 and 5. We're going to try that on the bass now. So somebody's in G, let's try it. Just use your right hand, 1, 5. Keep playing that. Try to keep it about the same tempo. Are you starting to feel that? Are you starting to get control in your right hand? Now let's go over to a D. In a D scale, the 5 is an A. So D. It's pretty convenient the way the bass is set up, where if you're playing a G or a D, it's just this